Vice President Harris appearing on the same stage she hoped would be the setting of a historic victory. Instead, with a heavy heart, she thanked the thousands of people in the crowd for placing their trust in her and officially conceded the race.
The outcome of this election is not what we wanted, not what we fought for, not what we voted for, but hear me when I say, the light of America's promise will always burn bright.
Despite the outcome, Harris says she's proud of the race they ran and the way they ran it.
I know folks are feeling and experiencing a range of emotions right now. I get it. But we must accept the results of this election.
Sharing the message she passed on to President-elect Trump.
I told him that we will help him and his team with their transition, and that we will engage in a peaceful transfer of power.
Harris thanked her family, running mate Tim Walz, volunteers who were all there in the audience, as well as President Biden and poll workers across the country. Now, looking toward the future.
While I concede this election, I do not concede the fight that fueled this campaign. And we will continue to wage this fight in the voting booth, in the courts, and in the public square. And we will also wage it in quieter ways, in how we live our lives, by treating one another with kindness and respect.
Vice President Harris also had a specific message for the young people watching. She repeated a quote we've heard throughout this campaign, and that is, when we fight, we win. But this time, she added, sometimes that fight takes some time. At Howard University, I'm Atra El-Nashar.
Meanwhile, President-elect Donald Trump did not make any public appearances today, but his campaign did release a statement saying President Joe Biden called President Donald J. Trump to congratulate him on his victory and extended an invitation to the White House to ensure a smooth transition between the current administration and the incoming administration. It continues. President Trump looks forward to the meeting, which will take place shortly, and very much appreciated the call.
Republican state lawmakers dominate our western counties, but Tuesday's election is changing some of the dynamics in Raleigh. The GOP will no longer have a supermajority in the House. Once again, they will be working with Josh Stein, who is a Democratic governor. Republicans will now need Democratic support to override gubernatorial vetoes. Mountain Republicans say that will lead to some deeper discussions.
He just needs to be willing to speak to us. And, sometimes we have to concede and sometimes he needs to concede. And we need to reach those agreements for the people. I'm optimistic that that's how he's going to govern.
Representatives Mark Pless and Mike Clampett, along with State Senator Kevin Corbin, all say regardless of party affiliation, a top focus in the next session will be passing flood relief legislation to help those impacted by Helene.